Hi, Caitlin. I'm going to give you some feedback for week 1, and I don't know if it's week 2 as well. Yeah, okay. I'll give you as much feedback as I can. So for week 1, you put letter grade A. That's not enough, and that's why I actually wrote this instructions. Justify the grade you earned for this week, particularly when you're giving yourself an A. It has to be based on the evidence you listed below. You have to articulate that, and you have to use this grade. So what you have to do is say, well, I deserve a grade of A, and you have to give 7 to 10 reasons based on like why. Grade A doesn't cut it. And so that would be the same advice for week 2 when I saw that. Now, I would advise you to look at the exemplar that I provided. A couple of things here. It looks like you spent 1.5 hours. You've used this prompt, but I'd like to see the actual chat activity. So that has to be put into a Google Doc, perhaps called Week 1 Gen AI Reflection, because then I can see how you've actually answered the questions here. You've given what I would say is some pretty good reflections, um, but I think you could dig a little deeper in your reflections because I need to know what you spent the 1.5 hours. For example, um, you looked about the power of a well-crafted prompt, uh, but that's not really what you need in Notebook LM. I don't know what you did, but like you don't reflect on the video features of the audio and that sort of thing. So I need more detail if you're looking for a grade of A. For the personal project, you spent 30 minutes. You were supposed to spend 3 hours. So there's no possible way that you could attain an A with because time really does equal grade in this case. You look like you've reviewed project, brainstormed, uh, but you didn't pick a project, which you really should have. You should have a description. You should have a detailed plan with the help of whatever tool you use, ChatGPT, about how to actually accomplish this plan. So 30 minutes is definitely under that's sort of a low B. It's actually kind of an incomplete. Uh, the in-class contributions are fine. They're a bit superficial here, but that's okay. Your Gen AI resources, you have to follow the examples here. That's why I gave you. Follow these examples to guide your entry. What you've done is just put a label, no link, no 2 to 3 sentence description. So really, I would say you're at a B, and I hope I've given you suggestions to improve. Again, same comment here. A doesn't do it. Why? And there's a clear reason for this because you're self-grading. And when my superiors question, I say, "Well, wait a second. How did Caitlin get an A?" Well, she just said A. That doesn't work. You have to give justification. Now, this is great. You've improved. So you have the actual conversation here, which is Gen AI activity. Um, but let's see. Um, yeah, you've given pretty short answers on this. Let's see what you actually did in the activity. Information literacies, assessing, retrieving information, evaluating, managing information, creating the ability. So you've created a sheet. That's fine. It's good. Uh, and then you've got some reflections here, which I really appreciate. So this is definitely, that sort of, it's not formatted super well, but it's got some depth into it, and so I like that. And so I would say definitely you're kind of in the A minus in that particular area. Um, and you've provided a nice summary here, so that's good. Now, let's see what's going on with this. 60 minutes. You're now 5 hours behind on your personal Gen AI project. And so using Gen AI to support lesson planning, okay? Um, and you've really just done cursory work. So that kind of just brings you back down to a B. By week 3, you should be almost finished your Gen AI project because really it's using Gen AI to support lesson planning. That would be 9 hours that you have to put into that. And so, and then you've got a link to the conversation here. Um, yeah, that's just your reflection, but it doesn't seem like you've done much. And I don't see the ideas. I don't see a link to your project. Is there some project? Yeah, there's, is there? So, oh, that's just the chat. So, yeah. So really, you're still at a B level here. And I would highly recommend that you put into turbocharge uh, that personal project because you're pretty far behind on that. All right. I hope that feedback is helpful.